So welcome friends. In this presentation, we are going to see how strings and lists work together. Okay. So let us understand first what is a string. So a string is a sequence of characters and list is a sequence of values. So how do you define a string? A string is a sequence of characters, whereas a list is a sequence of values. But a list of characters is not the same as a string. So here a list of characters is not the same as a string. So to convert from a string to a list of characters, you can use uh, the function lists. Okay, so to convert a string to a list, okay, so you have this particular function. Suppose I have a function called as, okay, I have created a string s which contains a string span. Okay, so s is a variable of type string which contains a string span. So what does this particular function do? So let me print this list of s. Now what happens? Print of t. So what should be the output of this? Okay, so because list is the name of a built-in function, you should avoid using list as a variable name. So list is a built-in function, so I cannot use list as a variable name. So instead of list I have used here t. So instead of t, if you use list, so it will create a problem. So as list is a built-in function, so here let me check the output. You can see here it is a values. Now it's not a string. So in a list we can see that yes, which is a string, contains a sequence of characters, but when it comes to a list, okay, uh, characters is not same as that particular string. Those becomes elements of that particular string, s, p, a, and m. Okay, this is how things work. Okay, now next thing what you can see is the list function breaks a string into individual letters. So the list function breaks the string into individual letters. If you want to break a string into words, you can use the split method. So here what happens, the list splits the string into individual letters. Now if you want to break a string into words, okay, you can use the split method. So the method that we are going to use is the split method, which will split the entire set of strings into words. So here you have a string. Okay, let me copy it once. So here you have a string which contains a function pinging from the Froge. Okay, so here we can see I will split a set of strings into words. So what will split function do? It will split each word as an element and it will store inside the list. So elements, this words which are a part of a string s will be split into words and it will be printed. So here you can see print of t. So what it will do, it will see here. You can see what happens. Individual words have been taken as the elements. So this is possible using the method called as split method. So if you want to break a entire string into words, so when you want to break the entire string into words, you make use of the method called as split. So how do I use this method? T is equal to s dot split. Okay, and finally I print it. So I want to print the individual word from that particular list. I specify the index value and it will return me the specific word present inside that list. So I have specified the index value as 2, 0, 1, 2. So it is printing the. Getting? So this is one thing. So you can call split with an optional argument called as delimiter that specifies which character to use as a word boundaries. Okay, so here especially in the previous thing we didn't specify any boundaries, that pinging is one word which is ending at G, for is another word which is ending at R, th is the another word which is ending at E. So here we can specify the strings with boundaries by using a delimiters. Okay, so let me clear this first. I will paste it. So I have used the delimiter hyphen here. Okay, so you can split with an optional argument called as a delimiter that specifies which character to use as a word boundaries. Okay, so here what you have. So the delimiter what I have used is a hyphen. Okay, so hyphen is the delimiter that I have used. So I'm telling that whenever you find this delimiter present inside a string, then you take that as the end of the word and individually split those particular words. Okay, so here you can see that. Okay, it has split into individual words. So delimiter is acting as a notation which is telling exactly where the word boundaries are. Okay, so the where the character boundary is. Fine. So this is how we can use specify delimiters. Okay. Now along with the split. Now you have joining is another method. So joining is the inverse of split. It takes a list of strings and concatenates the elements. Join is a string method, so you have to invoke it on the delimiter and pass the list as a parameter. Okay, so here what it is happening, I am joining the delimiter. Here what we have used the delimiter as a space. Okay, so here I take this as a string. Let me clear this. I will paste this particular thing. Okay, and then I am using a delimiter. So what is the delimiter? It is a space. So I enter it, and then when I say this one, what is the output? I have joined the splitted words into one string. So pinging for the frauds. So pinging for the frauds is what is we have that. So joining is the inverse of the split. So what that the split function did? Split function splitted the string into words. Okay. So here it takes a list of strings and concatenates the elements joining. Okay, so joining is a string method. You have to invoke it on the delimiter and pass the list as a parameter. So this is how we are performing an operation using a delimiter. Okay, so here in this particular presentation we have seen how we can use list and different string related functions with respect to list. So we have seen the concept of list and strings in this presentation and saw different methods related to strings. One is the split method, which is split all the sequence of strings into a set of characters. Then we had the delimiter, which specifies the boundaries of the words that are to be splitted, and then we need to use a delimiter here to specify the boundaries. And then we had the join, which performs the inverse of the split, which will split operation will split the entire string into words, whereas join will join all the separated words into a string. Here also we need to use a delimiter. So this is what we have seen in this particular presentation. Thank you for watching this presentation. Hope all this set of presentation have you have understood. Kindly practice this particular code which is specified in the textbook uh, for your uh, knowledge. Thank you for watching this presentation.